Hey there, how's it going? Roy Furr here. I'm the guy that AWAI gave the big $10,000 check to as their 10K Challenge Award winner at their 2010 Copywriting Bootcamp. And Rebecca asked me to put together a little video for you to kind of tell you about my history, where I came from, and how I got to where I am today. Now, I have to tell you, I wasn't always a superstar copywriter, living it up, living the writer's life, and that's really important for you to understand, kind of where professional copywriters come from. I actually, before I discovered copywriting, I was working at the local utility company. I was working in the call center. I was the guy that got the call when somebody didn't pay their gas or electric bill, their service got shut off, and now they were trying to figure out what the heck to do. So I was the guy that took those calls, customers screaming in my ear, blaming it on me for shutting off their service, and regardless of how much they may have owed on their past bills, they wanted me to send somebody out right now and come reconnect their service. It was a rather horrible existence. The job itself was bad enough, but I worked 40 hours a week. It was a full-time job, and my shifts were from noon to 9 p.m., not necessarily 5 consecutive days, and I often had to work weekends. It was rather miserable. There was no control over my schedule. There were 15-minute lunch breaks and hour lunches, and you had to be signed back into the phone before your time was up, or else you could get in trouble for that. And the pay wasn't worth it. The pay was rather miserable. It was not a good job that really built on my strengths, and so I wasn't rewarded for that. It was not a good job, and most importantly to me, I think there was no freedom to that job. It was something that you felt like you were not in control of your life at all. And then it actually got really bad. I've always been somebody that tried to take care of folks, in a customer service role. And so I would spend a lot of time on the phone with customers. I remember one particular woman. She was a landlord, and she had, maybe 5, 6, 7 properties in various states of utility service connection. So some were shut off, some were in tenants' names, some were in her name, and she just wanted to figure out what was going on with all her properties. She was calling in specifically about one property, and the rule there was basically that we had to solve the customer's direct problem and get them off the phone. And our performance was measured in no small part based on the amount of time that we spent on the phone with customers. And what I did with that woman is I actually spent close to an hour, if I remember right, on the phone with her, figuring out everything about all her properties, because she was so confused, because every previous call to the company had really just addressed one little problem and not given her a full picture of what all her properties were. So anyway, that happened, and then shortly thereafter, I had a review with my supervisor, and the supervisor pointed out all the good things I was doing in my job, how I was doing a good job taking care of customers. People weren't having to call back again. My coworkers tended to like me, all of that stuff. Except for there was one big problem. And that big problem was that I spent too much time on the phone taking care of customers. This metric was very important to the company, that we not spend too much time on the phone. It's a cost savings thing in a big call center. They don't really have a way to measure if you make customers happy and make them feel good about the business. But they do have a way to measure how long you've been on the phone. And so you can actually, I ended up getting in trouble because I spent consistently too much time on the phone with customers like that landlord taking care of their problems. And I decided, after getting in trouble for taking care of customers, I decided there had to be something better. There had to be a better way. There had to be a way that would leverage who I am and some of the skills I had, to earn me a good income, to give me better control over my hours and what I was doing, and most importantly, to give me much more freedom in my life. And it was about that time that I discovered copywriting, and shortly thereafter discovered AWAI. And within a few months, actually, I'd gotten a marketing job at a small publishing business. Within a couple of years, we more than doubled the business. We put them on Inc. magazine's list of America's fastest growing private companies. And I started to have a lot of success. And after that, I broke off on my own and started doing freelance copywriting. I've worked with tons of businesses in the self-help and motivation niches, and business opportunity, in financial publishing, and in the information marketers who teach other businesses how to run their businesses more successfully. And I've had a lot of success along the way. I helped one business launch a new product, and it did so well that they had to shut down sales early, and they'd never done that in their company's history. I've written $1 million promotions. I've put together the marketing plan and copywriting for events that have brought tens of thousands of new leads into a business and generated hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of sales. And all along the way, I've been rewarded handsomely because businesses really value the skills of a writer that's able to communicate with their customers and their prospective customers, and encourage those customers to become more involved with the business, to make more purchases, and the business can provide them more value through the deeper customer relationship. And businesses really respect that I have these skills that are able to connect with their customers in new ways. And it's really given me that freedom I was looking for. I fairly quickly, after discovering copywriting, and by quickly I mean within a few years, I multiplied my income by more than 5 times. I crossed that 6-figure threshold. I took control of my schedule. I spend most afternoons actually playing with my sons and not working. I just have much more freedom in my life. I've moved a couple times in there, across the country, not across town, and I haven't had any interruption in work as a result. I'm able to work wherever I want. I spend a couple days a week at the coffee shop, usually working, and other days at home. It really is the best opportunity out there, in my opinion, to live this lifestyle and to make a good income while doing so. And it's I shouldn't say that you won't have to work hard, because you will, but you can also rely on resources out there. You can lean on resources like everything that AWAI offers to build your writing skills and to deliver this value to businesses, and to build the lifestyle you want as a result. And so that's a little bit about me. I really do strongly suggest that you pursue AWAI's resources based on what you're interested in doing as a writer, because I've spent plenty of years in this business now. I'm going on a decade, and it's surprising that there aren't it's surprising that there are very few resources that really not only show you how to do it, but how to make a good income at it. And among the resources that are out there, there are very few that compare with AWAI, because AWAI is able to consistently bring in the best in the business, people who've done it for years and years, and who have a lot to share through real experience. And you get that, simply through investing in AWAI's programs and events. And if there's one thing that I really encourage you to do, in addition to all the skill building, it's to actually come to an AWAI event. Not only are you going to learn just tons of information about how to do everything you need to do to live the writer's life, but you're also going to meet plenty of folks out there, like me and like others that are doing it. And you really don't get that anywhere else in the world except through AWAI. So I encourage you, and hopefully I'll see you at an upcoming event, and hopefully you get a lot out of AWAI's programs like I have in building my successful career as a copywriter and marketing consultant. All right, Roy Furr signing off. Thanks.